An example of a new problem we need to take up, or actually a renewed problem, would be what some people are calling the North Korean nuclear crisis. In the book, we have a chapter on weapons of mass destruction and nuclear weapons, and a lot of the insights from that chapter, I think, will help students to make sense of what is really a bewildering kind of conflict today between the rest of the world and one relatively small power. And I think one of the enduring questions in the book is, have nuclear weapons changed the nature of international politics? And a lot of states believe they have, in the following way. North Korea believes that its regime survival, the very survival of the North Korean government, depends vitally on having nuclear weapons. And the belief is that if a country has nuclear weapons, to put it simply, they can't be invaded in a way that countries that don't have nuclear weapons can be by more powerful states. Now, that's a perspective, and it's important for students to understand that perspective, because a lot of the press will suggest North Korea's government is crazy and its leader is irrational, but there's a very clear rationality to that position. Now, look at the rest of the world. A lot of countries in the rest of the world, European countries, the United States, Japan, South Korea, all see it as very dangerous that North Korea actually have a nuclear capability. What are they worried about? One thing they might worry about is the possible use of nuclear weapons. But that may be even less important than proliferation concerns. One concern is that if North Korea has nuclear weapons, then there are incentives for South Korea and even Japan to acquire nuclear weapons. And the general proliferation of weapons in a region that already has all sorts of historical animosity and border problems and flashpoints and crisis points makes that a much more dangerous world than the world we have now. So the discussions that we have in our book about the proliferation of weapons, why it takes place and under what conditions, is directly relevant to making sense of the different perspectives you see in this current crisis. And there's a final point to think about too, which is, if North Korea has nuclear weapons, then other countries will have to deter North Korea from using them. And deterrence is maybe one of the most robust arguments one finds in the international relations literature. Should the North Korean nuclear crisis be seen as a problem of deterrence or as a problem of proliferation? There are two different ways to think about it. Both of them are highlighted in the book. And in some ways, the choice about how to approach North Korea hinges vitally on whether you see North Korean nuclear weapons as something that need to be rolled back and eliminated, or something that one needs to live with and then apply the very basic framework of deterrence to it.